Hi, my name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today's topic is You Are God. And I mean that quite literally. You're welcome. For some of you very rare birds out there, this may bring to mind a book called You Are God by Mary. Great book. This is a cutie patootie human that channeled 20 different entities that speak in very distinct ways. And they're kind of getting to the meat on the bones of the message I'm about to give you. So there's some reading material if this topic interests you. But this isn't actually about this book. It's about my direct experiences with the very literal statement, you are God, when I was on jungle medicines. So there is a story that comes from South America, and it comes from two different native tribes. Two different native tribes believe that there would be an eagle that would become very powerful. And in the power of this eagle, it would destroy the condor almost to just an ember within a fire, just almost completely destroy the condor. And then the eagle would become very sick indeed, and it would need help. And the condor, like a phoenix, would rise out of that ember and come and be a medicine to the eagle. Now, many people see these concepts, stories, mythologies, gods, goddesses. This is some of what we're going to talk about today. They see them as just like parables but I actually see them as quite literal. The eagle being America, the condor being South America, the eagle, America, being a lot of Europeans coming over here and taking true Americans, because unless you're a native, you're not a true American, you're an immigrant, and slaughtering and marauding and killing them and giving them smallpox blankets and causing the Trail of Tears to happen 55 years after our 4th of July. All of this stuff that has happened, missing, murdered indigenous women, there are all these things that have happened as a result of European man coming to inhabit these lands. And we're very sick. We're living on trash like trash pandas, drinking garbage, eating garbage. I mean, unless you're eating whole foods that came out of the mother's earth belly, you're not eating food. I don't know what you're eating, but it's not food. And that's okay. I don't have any judgment. I'm not judging that. I'm just saying that it's like we are getting to a place to where we're very sick. We're like vaping, drinking Monsters, eating garbage from Trash Panda fast food place XYZ, you know? And I would say on a mental and emotional level as well, you know? Lots of egomania, lots of egotism, like individual thinking of the self, thinking of the self, thinking of the self. So I think the condor concept are these South American ancient medicines. Herbal medicines have been around for thousands of years. Ayurvedic medicine, Western herbal medicine. Herbal medicines have been used for thousands of years. They are in wisdom. So South America has its own versions of medicines that come from plants. And plant medicines like Madre Ayahuasca, which I call Abuela de la Tierra, grandmother of the earth, because she's much more ancient than our mother's belly, who provides us all these beautiful blooms and fruits and vegetables to eat. Abuela is kind of a stern grandmother, and she will support you in really looking at all the cigarette butts in the world, all the plastic we use, all the ways we consume from her daughter's belly without questioning, like, should I reduce, reuse, recycle more? Do I actually need this other plastic thing? Could I get like a string of floss and not have to have floss with plastic? Because, you know, it's like, how can I use less of the resources so that all will have more? And so that I can be gentle with my mother. Pachamama, mother's belly, Mother Earth, Gaia. So when I went to take some of these medicines, there's also San Pedro, which is grandfather. Grandfather's a very gentle teacher. He's much gentler, very mystical, very holy and sacred in his own way. Rape or hape, which is ash. It's made a little bit different depending on the culture, blown into the nostrils, opening up anahata, the heart chakra, throat chakra, ajna, brow, third eye chakra, crown chakra. And it can make you kind of like cry and then also ha 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 laugh. It just kind of like opens and releases stuck emotion. I got to experience all three of these medicines. If these medicines interest you, please contact me. I would be happy to support you in understanding the medicines. If you feel like you are a sick Westerner and you are ready to heal and you're ready to be with the self on the healing medicine person path, feel free to contact me. I'm happy to talk to you about it. But when I was on the medicines, what I was shown is the way that I view my life. I've said to y'all many times, I'm married to Hades, or I'm married to Yama, or I'm married to Osiris, or I'm married to death. Because I've buried 55 people, I'm 46. I've spent my life starting at 17 months old when my dad drowned, again at 3 when my great-grandmother, my Nana, my full-blooded Sicilian Nana and favorite person, when she died, I had to look at her dead body in the casket. I've spent my whole life burying people. And so the way I've reflected on that, it's as if Yama, Hades, Osiris is my mate and eternally holding my hand. And for much of my youth, I was like, let go of my hand. I'm trying to be married to life. And eventually I've, over time, come to cherish my beloved husband and the great teacher and the humbling teacher he's been to me, to have great reverence for life and to have great reverence for death and eternality. And I was in Egypt on the medicine. I was Isis, married to Osiris. Our brother Set chopped Osiris up, spread him all over the earth. I went to magic. I made our son out of Osiris's parts, Horus. Horus became quite powerful, and then Set sent a scorpion into the temple to kill our son. And I just grieved. And I spent my life grieving, but I got to tell you, on this medicine, I was just weeping into a river for my beloved Osiris and our beloved son, the beloved piece that I got to have of him back, again, that I had to lose. It was tragic. It was tragic. My heart bleeds for Isis. Like, what a terrible challenge to have to face, to lose a child and a beloved. I watched my mom lose her beloved, and I don't wish this on anyone. So the point of this story is that the experience I was being given was that I am quite literally Isis, quite literally married to Osiris, is because they were showing me that there is a concept that I went into the medicine with that I had been marinating on for a while, which is the concept that many cultures have a singularity and then a trinity, and then it continues to spread out. So we think of I don't know, I feel like even in school they were like, Hinduism is the only religion that's not a monotheism. And it's like, what? Who is teaching this class? Actually, Hinduism, if you go all the way back to the singular point at the top of the pyramid, the top of the triangle, if you will, there's Brahman. Brahman is creator of all that is, period, end of discussion, forever. In Egypt, if you go all the way back to the pinnacle of the pyramid or the top of the triangle, Amun. Amun was the creator of all that is. Eventually, they created Ra, the sun god, and Ra merged together and became Amun-Ra. So a little bit of a duality in that singularity started to split and divide. If you go to Christianity, the Lord our God, singularity, Lord our God. Now, all of these concepts, and you can see this in Greek mythology, you can see any concept where you have the concept of more than one, you'll start to see this parable of there was a singular God, and then there was a trinity. So in Hinduism, you have Brahma, Vishnu, and you have Shiva. Brahma eternally creating, Vishnu eternally preserving what is created by Brahma, Shiva cutting away the dross and destroying that which does not need to be in creation anymore. And that being a perfect balanced team of the singular Brahman. Then in Christianity, you have the Lord our God. The Lord our God, equal weight of that title can be given to the Father God principle, to Yeshua ben Joseph, which is what he would have been called in his time, the beautiful brown man, Jesus the Christed one, or the Holy Spirit. Those things have equal weight of being godly or divine or divinity. So a trinity from the singularity. So Christians believe in three as well. You have in Egypt, Isis, the creator. This is the Demeter, Ceres, and Annapurna. This is the Earth Mother creator. Like, she's literally creating her baby from her beloved. She's making life happen. Isis has many different forms that she would take in Egypt. But so this concept of mother, maiden, crone is present in Isis. And this holy queen would create. And Horus, the thing that she created as a preservation of her beloved Osiris, becomes the preserver of his magic, his mysticism, his underworld knowledge. And then Osiris is the god of the underworld. Underworld was called Duat, D-U-A-T in Egypt. And so Osiris ruled over destruction, death, loss, grief. Duat, my beloved green husband. I miss him so much. And so there's this concept of God, divinity, singularity, shattering into matter. And I was thinking about that. And because I was having the experience of being Isis again, I was being shown that it's like we were all the God. We were God, and then we were the gods, and then we were like, ascended masters, angelic seraphim. It keeps dividing out and splitting, and eventually we became two-legged and we became man. We kept breaking down and shattering into matter to such a degree that infinite multiverses were born. Because God is so vast, the Brahman is so big, the Lord our God is so large, Allah is so big, all of it is so massive. This creator principle, creator, is so large that in order to fully encompass all that it be, you would have to do that in the living tree through infinite multiverses and infinite forms and realms of living things. So you have the living realm of Earth School, where you have close to 8 billion people right now, plants, animals, but also that singular universe concept of Earth School is actually infinite multiverses. And outside of Earth School, there are other realms. Talk to any shaman. I've studied shamanism globally. There are 3 realms: upper world, lower world, middle world. So these realms have different things too. They operate at different frequency levels. So to each their own, but I'm just saying that's a global concept that's present in the collective consciousness of man, that there are 3 realms in addition to your individual realm, which has infinite multiverses if you're a multiverse theorist, which is one of the more popular theories that quantum physicists follow today. Now, let's go to the science of God. I love science. I love quantum physics. Stephen Hawking said in his book, A Brief History of Time, I think is the one, but in one of his books, he was talking about life being a singularity. And then you have the Big Bang Theory. You wind up with cosmic inflation. Things keep expanding out. Most of you are familiar with that concept. The universe keeps expanding. And he said that eventually it would collapse back into a singularity. So the way I visually see this often is the inhale and the exhale breath of God. When God inhales, we have the singularity. And when God exhales, universes upon multiverses upon multiverses are born forth. And it's just that God is so vast, each inhale and exhale is infinite in its expression. So what I was seeing is that God, a singular concept, shattered into matter and continued to shatter. And as it shattered into matter, it shattered into all the different aspects of the all that is, which is another thing we could call God. And so you wind up with these 8 billion two-leggeds, which is the shattering into matter. A certain number of those 8 billion were Isis, a certain number were Osiris, a certain number, right? It kept shattering into matter. That's why there weren't as many before. So it keeps doing that. And so, but it's really just the one source. People are like, what is this, extra souls? No, it's always one source. It's one life. It's one life, divine spirit, Brahman, right? So, I mean, that's it. Amun Ra, Amun, So you wind up with these 8 billion people, and they don't remember being Isis, being Osiris, being Set, being Annapurna, being Shiva, being Parvati, being Ganesh, They don't remember that. They're so disconnected from it because I'm just a lowly human. And we could say, it's so arrogant. Heather, what you're saying is so arrogant. Like, blasphemy from the pulpit. How dare you, woman, be so arrogant as to call me God? And I tell you now, you are God. Because even in, Christianity, which can be the most, of the many religions I've studied, the most challenged with acceptance and most open to judgment, just based on the people I've met, There are many that really practice Christianity and they don't have those challenges. Because true Christianity is 70 times 7 forgive. It's very beautiful philosophy. But even with that concept, you have I and the Father are one. Not we're kind of one, we're a little alike. To say something is one, at-one-ment, atonement, it's one. I am that. You are that. You are God. How are you treating your God, your goddess, your spirit, your divinity this day? Are you being very loving, very kind to the magnitude of your isness, which is your business? You can always join Rare Bird Medicine on YouTube by subscribing. You can like and comment there. I'd love to hear your thoughts. May you be kind to the divine being you are this day. Amun.